Okay, you good, Cat? Cat, are you good? You gonna stay up there, or you just... Alright, well, I guess you're gonna be up there now. Or not. Bye-bye meals. YouTube Kids is arguably one of the strangest and most controversial platforms out there to date. Over the years, it has sparked extremely intense debates and has been the cause for outcry by many. From illegally collecting data on children to absolutely inappropriate content being shown to toddlers, this site remains one of the few things that most of people can still agree on, which is that this app is horrible. At its peak, YouTube Kids was most talked about and scrutinized in the late 2010s after a surge of inappropriate videos were reported on the platform. Very young children, and I mean very young, like all the way down the infant age, were being exposed to content that would, at some times, be disturbing for adults even. Not only that, but the videos were also at times really difficult to find once a child clicked off of them due to the fact that they were either so similar to other content, like Peppa Pig, or due to the fact that most of the videos allowed on YouTube Kids are made to content farm because parents refuse to parent their kids and are instead letting their child look at a brain rot content for 16 hours a day. However, like I said, this was all in the late 2010s. It's 2024 now, so it begs the question, has anything changed? Is YouTube Kids still a toxic cesspool of videos that are corrupting the minds of the innocent, or has it been cleansed and purified? Well, the answer is actually both and neither, but I'll explain why. First off, let's quickly recap what YouTube Kids is supposed to be. On paper, YouTube Kids is supposed to be a much stricter and safer alternative to YouTube, meaning that it filters out any of the content that may be deemed inappropriate for young children to consume. For example, a 4-year-old is not allowed on YouTube due to Google's terms of service. So they would instead use YouTube Kids. On YouTube Kids, the parent can monitor what their child is watching. Things like Peppa Pig or cutesy animated shows would be shown to the 4-year-old instead of, say, something like Markiplier or VisiPop. And YouTube Kids does keep those kinds of channels out of the reach from these young children. On paper, it's fine, but so is economic communism, and when enacted in real life, well, that's why the Soviets no longer exist. And much like economic communism, when YouTube Kids is thrown out into the real world, so many problems arise. And these problems hit their peak in the later 2010s. Parents were reporting that inappropriate videos were being suggested to their children, even if they increased the strictness of the content that their child was allowed to watch. But why were these videos being suggested to children? And more importantly, how on earth did they manage to get on the platform in the first place? Well, there's actually 2 reasons for why this happened. First off, let's tackle the issue of how these videos got on the platform. Let's say you wanted to upload a gory video on the YouTube Kids. If you tried to publish it normally with normal thumbnails and normal gory scenes, then YouTube Kids would immediately ban you from the platform. However, if you disguised your horror video by using kid-friendly characters, then you could possibly get the video up without being detected. For example, this video shows Mickey Mouse getting his ear chopped off by Minnie Mouse, and blood goes everywhere. Believe it or not, at one point in time, this video was available on YouTube Kids for toddlers to watch. But the thing is, the parents wouldn't notice this because most of the video would be kind of normal. Every now and then a gory scene would play, but on average, when a parent would check up on their child, a normal scene would be playing. So the parent would move on, thinking nothing was wrong, when in reality, their child was watching a video that could potentially scar them for life. Okay, so we know how these videos got onto the platform, but why were they being suggested to children? To clarify, the way YouTube's algorithm works really boils down to one thing: watch time. The more the average viewer spends watching your video, the more the algorithm will suggest it to people. However, in order for this algorithm to work, there has to be an initial audience to bring it up from obscurity. And that's where YouTube's autoplay feature came into play. Children will watch a video, and then they would let the autoplay feature choose the next video for them. This simple feature is exactly how these disturbing videos made it into the spotlight, because unsupervising parents would let the autoplay feature select the videos, and naturally, given enough time, disturbing videos would appear on the child's feed. Then, when the algorithm sees that the video was watched all the way through, it will suggest similar content to try and keep the kid on the platform. This rabbit hole feature is what allowed inappropriate content like this to flourish. Now, everything we've talked about up to this point was mostly in the late 2010s. Many years have passed since then, however. Despite the bad reputation that YouTube Kids has accumulated over the years, I will acknowledge the fact that Google has made an attempt to combat videos like this by implementing stricter guidelines and improving their automated systems. But just how well have they improved these systems? Do things like the ear-chopping Mickey Mouse video still exist on the platform? To find out, I went undercover and created a YouTube Kids account. On this account, I created 3 different profiles, with each one being set to a different age. Account 1 was set to 3 years old, account 2 was set to 7 years old, and account 3 was set to 10 years old. These age ranges matter because YouTube Kids will allow you to watch different content based on how old you are. For example, a 10-year-old can watch PG Minecraft videos, while a 3-year-old won't even be allowed to access that kind of content. Anyway, with these 3 accounts, I performed a little test on each one to see if I could find any inappropriate videos. And the test was very simple. All I did was click on a video, watch it for 30 seconds, and then randomly click on a new one. And I did this about 20-ish times for each account, or until I found a disturbing video. And yeah, I'll go ahead and spoil it a little bit. I did indeed find some disturbing videos. However, they weren't gory or scary, they were just disturbing. At least, I found them disturbing. But above all else, what shocked me the most was the fact that I didn't find any disturbing videos on the 7 and 10-year-old account. Everything there was kind of normal, albeit cringy AF. I only found disturbing content on the 3-year-old account. Now, what exactly did I find? Let's take a look. At first, the videos were kind of normal. The first one was about building a kindergarten, which isn't bad, I just found it cringy. But hey, I'm a grown man, and this is targeted for toddlers, so who am I to judge? Anyway, the next few videos are educational animated videos about safety and rules, which is really good, but then almost instantly, things go awry. There were a lot of videos talking about birthing and where babies come from. Now, these videos don't explain exactly what happens in the baby making process, but the fact that the question of where they come from is being shown to a 3-year-old is a bit odd. That might just be me though, so for now, I'll let this slide because it's not too bad. And then there was the final videos. The ones that, after I watched them, made me realize exactly why people do not like this app. A video in question is called a fart fiasco. And, well, I don't think there's any way for me to describe it, so I'm just gonna play it on the screen while I'm talking. I didn't know what I was expecting before watching this video, but it certainly wasn't this. I mean, really? A cat and a Roblox character dancing to the sound of their farts. The fuck? What kind of person thinks of this? Because remember, there were actual people out there who thought of and animated this. And look, you're allowed to make whatever you want, freedom to create and all that, but the fact is, if I was a parent and I saw my kid watching this, I would lose my mind and wonder if the internet was really such a good idea after all. Bottom line, this shouldn't be shown to a 3-year-old. It holds no educational value, it's brain rot, and their young and easily impressionable minds can be easily damaged by consuming content like this. We've already seen the results of what happens to children who watch brain rot all day. Mindless zombies, both in Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Anyway, after that video, I went a little further into the rabbit hole, but I didn't get very far because all the videos after this were in Japanese, I think. I also think that's a bit odd as well. I'm not saying it's bad, but it was really easily to switch languages. And even though I couldn't understand what was being said, I could kind of understand what was happening in the videos. One was about lactose intolerance, I think, and another was about a Disney princess who had dysentery, I think. Anyway, now that I've lectured you like an old man would, what's our conclusion? Is YouTube Kids any safer than it was 6 to 8 years ago? Technically, yeah, it is. No matter how hard I tried, I could not find any gory, sexual, or borderline rated R content. However, while that problem has disappeared, a new one has taken its place. And we all know what that is. You know it, you hate it. Brain rot content farms. These farms essentially cover the entirety of YouTube Kids, with the majority of them being either cringy, overdramatic family channels, or really strange animated channels. It might be fun to watch as a 3-year-old, but ultimately, it just harms their brain when they view that kind of content. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be allowed to watch cringy kid content, but I don't think they should be allowed to watch that kind of stuff for 16 hours a day. That's the parents' fault though. I won't go on a rant here because I already made a whole video where that's really all I did. But yeah, to all the parents out there, YouTube Kids is a tool, not a babysitter. You can't let an iPad raise your kid unless you want them to talk in slang in every conversation. God, I sound like a boomer right now. I hope y'all can forgive me for berating y'all like this, but it's the truth. YouTube Kids has fixed the disturbing content that plagued the platform, but it instead replaced it with brain-dead content farms. And honestly, I don't know which one is worse. And with that being said, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, let me know down in the comments below. I do read everything y'all type because I love interacting with y'all and listening to everyone's opinions. I'll also take any suggestions for future videos. Anyway, stay safe out there, and I'll catch you on the flip side.